here we are, we them boys, and we are in the playoffs right now with a home field game coming up. So, Jaime, let's just talk about America's team for a second.
Mhm.
I just wanted to look at Wudi and CJ's face as I said America's team
I didn't
for a
even have to
second.
see it. I feel it.
You
I mean,
felt it, right?
I
You
mean,
felt it.
Yeah, I felt
Felt it,
it.
right? But let's talk about it. This year, we are the third seed. The Cowboys, we started off kind of hot. That opening game against Tampa, as a Cowboys fan, when we lost that game, obviously the meltdown that comes from the fans of the Cowboys and then the people who don't support the Cowboys. Oh, it's the same old boys, same old boys. They lucky they can't finish 500 this year since there's an odd number of games. So they're probably going to go 8-9, instead of 9-8. Same old story, right?
Right.
What do we do after that game? We go win 6 straight, including one with Cooper Rush. Then things got a little bit rocky after we took the loss to Denver.
So coming into the season, it was a lot of question marks, and I really thought that this was going to be a year that they were able to get Zeke going, and I thought that he was going to have return to form, but it's like nothing that you expected to happen with the Cowboys happened with the Cowboys, and everything that everybody said couldn't happen happened. Specifically, the defense, Dan Quinn, Micah Parsons, and Diggs. Everybody thought that the defense would drag us down and that the offense would have to carry us again. And it started out like that, but then the defense really started getting hot, and it's rare that you see a unit in the NFL on the offensive side or defensive side make a U-turn the way they did from year to year. So going into the season, I was really concerned with certain things, and now it's like I don't really know what to expect because we haven't put together a full game. I mean, Atlanta, I guess, but we haven't really put together a full game. So it's still really hard to tell. The main thing that concerns me is still the inconsistencies with the team.
is this the year? Probably not. But you do kind of have a great defense, right? Dan Quinn. We all knew that Dan Quinn is a great DC. His defense was kind of slacking a little bit when he was a head coach, but as a DC, like he's been great. And then with the offensive weapons, I tease Will all the time about all the people that Dak gets to throw to. I know you guys lost Gallup, but I mean you still got studs out there, right? You guys still got studs. So honestly, I think the Dallas Cowboys ceiling, and I would never tell Will Gaddy this to his face, so I'm going to look to the right. I feel like their ceiling is actually pretty high. The big actual question mark, which I doubled down completely on what Jaime said, inconsistency, because we see the ceiling. I'm not going to say we've seen the floor, but we've seen pretty close to the floor. Like it's just all over the place. Which Cowboy team are we getting this weekend?
The building blocks there are scary, right? They got when you look at the names on their roster, and we touched on this just a bit, but the weapons. Forget Amari Cooper, forget Ezekiel Elliott. When you're running out young guys like CeeDee Lamb and Schultz and even Tony Pollard, and then on the defensive side, we all know about Parsons and Diggs. All those guys that I mentioned are 25 or younger. I mean, Zeke and Prescott are they're 26 and 27 or 28 respectively, but still prime of their career, right? And then you're putting these weapons behind them who are young, presumably going to be healthier than the older guys who have a little more wear and tear on them. So when you have guys, I think it's underestimated, honestly, the amount that Pollard can contribute to that team behind Zeke.
What do you think about Tony Pollard, Jaime?
My biggest concern with Pollard and Zeke isn't Pollard or Zeke. It's Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
It's how can you incorporate putting both guys on the field? It almost seems like defenses know when Zeke's getting the ball. it almost seems like there's no element of surprise. How many big plays has Zeke broken off this year? I mean, it can't be 10. I seriously doubt he has 10, 15-yard rushes this year. And it just seems like they put Zeke in situations, and it almost tips off the defense to let them know what's coming. And when Pollard's in, it's a little bit more of a surprise because you don't know what they're going to do with him. They can hand him the ball, he can catch, he can motion out. He does a lot of things. So I do like Pollard a lot, but my issue with the whole Zeke Pollard thing is Kellen Moore coming together to use both players on the field to surprise the defense.
If the Cowboys want to make it through the NFC into the Super Bowl, which side of the ball needs to be unblemished? The offense or the defense?
There is no question to me. Defense wins championships.
I think they're going to score points, right? We just talked about, like all of us just talked about how good that offense is. So they're going to score points, okay? If they can hold that defense and hold strong, they're going to get out of the first round. I mean, they're going to get out of the wild card round, no doubt in my mind, if that defense holds up.
Absolutely, the defense. When you look at the teams that they are going against, the key to beating San Francisco is stopping the run game. It's not to outscore them. Obviously, the Packers, whenever you look at the Packers, it's not about outscoring, because if you try to outscore the Packers and get in a shootout with them, you want to see Aaron Rodgers get hot in the playoffs in Lambeau? No, you don't want that. The same thing with Brady. And the same thing with Philly. Philly has a good run game. That would be their key to success in these playoffs. And obviously you have Kyler and the Rams as well. It's all going to be about stopping the key offensive weapon for the other team.
Man, I agree with all three of you fellas. Like Wudi said, defense wins championships. And if we're going to make a run, we need our defense to really be high level. I mean, we're healthy. I'm really excited for Randy Gregory to be unleashed in the playoffs. Usually we're missing him. And, this pass rush with Gregory, Lawrence, and Micah Parsons mixed in there, it could be really good.
Parsons is making life hard for offensive coordinators and for Cowboys haters, because there's another young stud player that you just can't help but like, right? Like he's everything. He has the mentality, the spirit, the personality, and he's not a boy, he's not a man, he's a lion, right? He's a lion. Come on.